Hello, my name is Anthony Janice and I'm a gardener, and I'm just doing a few videos to give you some tips on some various gardening duties that I've learnt over my career so far. And this video is basically going to be about brambles. So I'm in a garden currently which I'm going to swing around. So this was all brambles. I mean, I can show you, there's lots of trees and apple trees, but it's mainly all brambles. As you can see, I've got all brambles here, and it was just like a big wall. If you just imagine a wall of brambles, that's what it's like for the whole thing. It's taken me about 6 weeks of 5-hour goes a week to get to this point. And I'm just going to talk to you a bit about brambles. So I'm going to lead you over to a part that I'm going to be doing. So as you can see, I've got lots of brambles, and brambles are probably, apart from nettles, are probably the worst thing that you can encounter in a garden. I'd say that they're actually the bane of my life in a way, but enough said on that. They are very tough, purely because they can do you a lot of damage. So as you can see, I've done a video on these gloves before, and for working with brambles you must wear gloves. There's no ifs and buts. If you don't have gloves, you're going to do yourself serious damage. So before you do anything with brambles, please do get gloves for safety. Just a bit of a note on these. I'm using these purely to show you the weakness of these gloves as well. As you can see on the forehand, that you can see there's material, and that's going to be a big weakness. If you want gloves that are best suited to brambles, then you want gloves that are level all the way around, just like the palm, but just on the forehand. So that's what you're going to need. I'm just going to show you one part of a bramble. So you can see this bramble is dead, it's brown. So what you can actually do in terms of bagging up, as long as you've got strong enough gloves, I would say normally you cut with secateurs, but you don't really need to with these. You can just snap brambles that are already dead. With the reason I show you this is, if I show you this bramble, it's very much alive and wanting to hurt me, I think, with all those spikes and thorns. But with these, you can't usually, you can snap them a bit. As you can see, they just bend. They don't snap like the already dead bramble. That's because they're just purely alive, the elasticity in the actual tissue, and that's the reason why they bend. So what you can do is you can actually fold them onto one another, make a little sort of a bow, so to speak. You wrap it around, it's like a little parcel, and then as you can see, you can then put it in the bag. But what happens is, if you get really thick brambles, this is quite thin, what happens, it takes a lot of space in the bag. So I would say, even though you can do that, if you're running out of time, then please do it. But if you've got a bit more time, then cut it up as just like the branches I've done there, and then you can fit more in the bag. Because what happens is, when you fold the brambles, is you'll find, even with a garden sat, the thorns, they catch on the sides and it's very difficult to get in, and when you do get them in, you're actually losing a lot of space in the bag. So it's ideal for you to cut them up. So as you can see, I'll stand back, I've got this wall of brambles currently, as you can see. Now what you don't want to do, you can see they're all falling this way and that way. So what you don't want to do is, you don't want to stand there and attack the bramble going head on, because it takes a lot of time. And one of the most important things that you really need to do is wear eye protection too, especially if you're going to go that way, because you've got lots of reasons why one can go in your eye and then you're going to have to go to hospital. It's just as simple as that. So safety first, guys. So not good to go against. I'm not going to stand there and go against the actual falling bramble. What I'm going to do is, you can see, you want to try and get a pathway, which I've I've sort of manoeuvred through previous work to the base where you can see it's starting to fall. So what you want to do is you want to go behind the bramble the safe way, and then I'll show you if I move along. Sorry if it's a bit shaky, guys. See how close I can get? And then what you do is you cut at the base, and then you, with the gloves, leather gloves, usually at the base it's not too spiky anyway, but leather gloves all the time, and then you pull them, and then you literally pull them out along, and then you just put them on the side ready to cut up in your basket. So that's the main tip. As I said, with the branches that are dead, you can snap them into bits instead of taking time to secondarily cut them. You can fold these brambles, the living ones, and put them in the bag to save a bit of time, but it's very difficult if they're thick, so because they're going to catch on the sides of the bag. So what you're going to want to do, I would say, is to cut them up anyway, as long as you've got a bit of time. And as I said, with this particular bush of brambles, you don't want to stand there, and you don't want to work against the brambles falling towards you. You want to go behind them to the base if you can, and cut the base with secateurs, pull them, and then you just pull them out. They'll pull out. They will catch on other brambles, so it might take a bit of an effort, and then pull them out. Just noting, as I've just said, if you've got a bit of a weakness, you've got a bit of a weak back, or you can't pull them out, then if you, it's not a rule that I would go by, but if you had to go against, because there are situations where you're going to have to go against. So what you're going to do is literally, you're not going to walk all the way in, cut your legs. As you can see, I'm wearing protective trousers, because these will catch you, and they will. I mean, I've literally had bleeding legs for a long time, until I actually thought about it more and thought, oh, what can I do to give some tips to people? And I was thinking about it more a safer way. So what you're going to do, as you can see, this is the branch that I was pointing out on the side when I was over there. So you're going to get to the length of it, and what you have to do is you have to secateur each one. With this one, as you can probably notice, is dead, and true as to form, as I said, you can snap it off. You can, and as you're doing it, you're getting closer and closer to the base, and that's where you want to get, and then you can dig them out, and that's I know, in fact I'll show you now. I can't show you practically because I've got the camera and I'm on my own, but when you get to the base, this is another bramble base, what you're going to do is you're going to cut them, get rid of all the brambles, you're going to put them in the sack, but then you're going to get a fork or a shovel or a spade, shall I say, and then you're going to dig out the root, because unless you dig out the root, it's not going to die. It's just going to, I mean, at the moment it's January in London, very wet weather at the moment, 2016, and it'll be okay, it'll just stay there, but once summer gets here, it will be a growing spurt, and all of this, as you can see, all of this was brambles. It'll all just come back, so you're going to need to dig it up, folks. So I'm going to swing this around. As I said, hopefully that's a good tip about brambles. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Definitely be safe with brambles. Eye protection, hand protection, leg protection, feet protection. Boots are going to be best, because they catch everything, guys. They catch every piece of clothing you can, headgear you want, everything. So that's the tip about brambles. I may make another video in the future about brambles in case I've forgotten anything, but you know, subscribe to the channel. There's going to be a lot more tips about gardening, and I do other videos as well if you're interested in that. But if you're just solely interested in gardening, then I'm posting quite a few tips out for you. So have a good day and be safe in the garden.